let's see. What is less clear is how these constraints manifest themselves into interpersonal problems between men and women. So now we're going to talk about interpersonal, meaning the relationship between men and women. Interpersonal manifestations and sociological constraints. Now we're talking about gender roles. Sheesh. It's about to get heated, y'all.
Whew.
All right, so. Wait, hold on. Let me see. You guys can see. What y'all prefer? What y'all prefer, man? Like this shot or this shot? What y'all think?
Wait, what shot?
That's it, because they can see it. 2. All right. I'll just do it like this.
All right. We're gonna run with 2 then.
Yeah, man. All right, cool. Gender roles and education. It's like, first of all, like educated women, they're less likely to like
want to be in the traditional gender.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that causes another problem.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And I also think the uneducated, like the low, low income, so-called like ghetto or whatever, like I think those women, they don't even understand a man's role. Like that's not.
Because they never even seen it.
Yeah.
And so it's just, and they've kind of, I had to be the man and the woman.
Yeah,
and so
they just accept dysfunction. Yeah.
If you always had to be the man and the woman, quote unquote, then that
Yeah.
means you don't know what's just the woman then,
All right. Although research on the dearth of marriageable African-American men documents as a negative impact a limited pool of potential partners can have on an African-American relationship development, the question becomes how these constraints manifest themselves in relationships when traditional gender roles are reversed. One way is that given the gender disparities and unbalanced ratio of men to women among so-called black people, delineating gender roles can be particularly challenging. Like, how can you if she make the money?
That's what you're saying. So basically the roles are reversed. She's the one making the money, and so you the one that got to be out there, the good woman cooking the meals, cleaning the house.
Yeah, and then she run her mouth, right?
Yep.
Because
and then she runs her mouth.
She the man, so she's telling you what to do, but you really the man.
And she wants you to be the man, so she talks down on you even worse, though.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah. So women have to consciously, like, see, if you're unconscious and you make more money, you're just gonna start acting masculine, just by nature. You have to consciously, deliberately bring out your femininity, you know what I'm saying? And make sure that spirit don't take you over, you know what I'm saying? All right, wow, gender, because, like, what man wants to fucking do women's shit? You know what I'm saying? Like African-American men, we're like one of the most masculine men. Like, what you talking about? You know what I'm saying? I mean, we'll help out, of course, you know what I'm saying? Cook, this and that, but nigga, we ain't like, nigga, I ain't no bitch. You know what I'm saying? That's how brothers feel. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no bitch, bro. You feel me? At the end of the day. All right. Wow. Anyway, okay. That is why many African American women making more money, having more education than their male counterparts, determining the allocation of tasks such as household and childcare labor, as well as determining who makes financial decisions, can be challenging.
Yes.
So,
I hate the. This is, maybe we could have an article on this later in the future. And I hate to just be stereotypical, but for right now, just for the sake of argument, just say a broad general stereotype. But I feel like on the day-to-day, I feel like men are just better with money. And so when I say better with money, I don't just mean for the moment, but I also mean planning for the future with that money. Meaning a man is more apt to not spend the top of his budget. Meaning if I make X amount of money a month, I kind of know, like, I got to put X amount away for this. I got to put X amount away for that. And I know that just because I have it don't mean I really have it. But I feel like just in general, women spend the top of their budget on things. And so they think just because they have it in their account, that means they actually can afford it right now in the present, excluding like the future. So it's like, if I want to go on this trip, I'm going to go on this trip because I can afford it. And it's like, I think a man is more apt to understand, based on what we need for the future, you can't really afford that right now. you know? And I feel like that's where the tension comes because the man wants to manage the money more so for the future. Like, hey, we need to build for this, we need to build for that. But the woman kind of wants to spend the money for the present. And so you have the woman who's the one making the money is going to feel some type of way that the man is going to be like, yo, but you can't spend your money like this because this is actually more beneficial to do it this way.
That's right. Great point. Great fucking point. I mean, it's like, yeah, it's a broad generalization, but we're broadcasting. You know what I'm saying? Like we're speaking to a broad people. Yes. You know, so what you're saying is generally true. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's true in every instance. Of course, yes. you know.
Talking generally.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, and I just want to make sure that, you know, we're not coming across like we're bashing women.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm definitely not.
Well, yeah, I just want to just make sure that the women understand that. You know what I'm saying? You know, I believe that the woman is the heart of it all. You know what I'm saying? And that it's all revolved around the woman. You know what I'm saying? I think the woman has so much power. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think she knows it. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, all right. Yeah, but this part right here, this says determining the allocation of tasks. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, I highlighted this because this is so important. I know a couple that's like, you know, arguing, going back and forth right now, and I can guarantee you that their problems come from this paragraph right here. The woman making more money, having more education, either or both. And then she's determining they're having a disagreement on what they're gonna do first, you know what I'm saying, household chores, this is what you should be doing, and it's challenging. Yes, it is. You're putting a man in a position where he doesn't naturally fit. And the modern feminist black woman, she feels that anything less is weakness. You know, the first thing they'll say is, well, I don't want a man walking all over me. So like they are equating just a submission to walking all over me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Which is very different. It's very different. These challenges often manifest themselves in power struggles over leadership. God, that's it right there. It's over. It's over. It's over. This shit is done. Article is over, dog. This is it. That's it right there. That's the heart of it right there, man. These challenges often manifest themselves as power struggle over leadership. You make a small mistake, she not listening to you now because she got the bag and she don't have to listen to you. You feel me? But look, the man should be the leader of the situation, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, period. That's the way it should be. I understand you're making more money, you know what I'm saying? So then a lot of brothers just like, man, fuck it. So that's why when brothers ain't got enough money, fuck it. I'm not getting married, man. Fuck that shit. I'm not gonna get myself into this position here where I gotta fucking be with a man woman. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like I said, man.
All right. It is important to recognize that although educated African American women are not getting married, sheesh. God damn. God damn. The way that was said, it is important to recognize that although educated African American women are not getting married, sheesh, they are still involved in romantic relationships.
Hey, like my man say, you still got the nurses, you know what I mean, getting dicked down by the D-boys, you know what I mean?
Many of these educated women, however, do not have a sense of urgency to marry the men they are in committed relationship with because they are economically self-sufficient. Interesting. Therefore, if the economic incentive is removed, there becomes an increased burden on the relationship to meet the woman's emotional and psychological needs. Interesting. This is supported by the research and then importance of meeting emotional psychological needs, okay? The traditional male role as a provider is not only compromised, but challenged or surpassed by the woman. Thus, the man may feel emasculated and consequently more vulnerable. That feeling of emasculization is likely both self-imposed, right, and reinforced by the woman. Mm-hmm. All right, so okay, look, we got to stop there. Like this is like That's so many sentence. This is so many bars here. Yeah. So okay, so guys, understand this. Regardless of how you feel about the situation, mm-hmm. let's review for a second. We have by far the highest divorce rates. We have by far the highest unmarried rates. We have the highest baby mama rates. Whatever we're doing is not working.
Not working.
And so, however you feel about that, what we just read, this stuff about the woman leading and stuff like that, that is the reason. That is the reason, or one of the main reasons, why we're dysfunctional. This is it. And this is not written by you know what I mean, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Influencer. This is scientific research that we're talking about right here, people. This is not how we feel about something. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oof.
Wow. So let me break this down. They said the feeling of emasculation might be self-imposed. So
Which is definitely true.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Well, self-imposed because you feel like you're not holding up your end of the bargain, and so therefore, if you're not holding up your end of the bargain, it's hard to, for lack of a better word, tell the woman what they need to be doing, and they're on their side of the gender role because you're not fulfilling your side of the gender role. So therefore, you feel like my voice is now diminished because if I'm not fulfilling my end, it then becomes very hard for me to talk about what she's not doing on her end. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm deficient on my end. You know, especially I think it will be very emasculated, like the same way. Like I feel like obviously a woman, because a woman gives birth, you know, and a man can't give birth. Sometimes a woman might feel deficient if she is unable to give birth. You know what I'm saying? Like if she somehow has a problem with her reproductive area or whatever, she can't give birth. I'm sure psychologically she somehow feels a little bit less than. You know what I'm saying? Because that is one of the functions of
femininity,
being a woman, because men can't give birth. You know what I'm saying? And so
point,
it's that on the flip side for men.
Sir.
If we can't provide,
that's
we feel
right,
like, man, like
protect.
This is what I'm supposed to.
That's right, brother.
This is like what I'm supposed to be walking the earth to do, and I can't do it.
And it's just being a man in that position, it sucks, man. That's a terrible position, man.
Yes.
I'm just telling y'all, ladies, it's terrible.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That's why the brothers turn to the drugs and the drinking and the gang banging. It's like an escape. You know what I'm saying? It's like, wow, man. So, wow. Consequently, the relationship interactions become dominated by less flexibility and more controlling. That is, the couple is not able to successfully manage their differences because differences are going to happen, okay? Differences and problems will happen. I always say that to everybody. The thing is, how do you solve them problems? You know what I'm saying? That's, you know?
Right.
Wow. This interpretation is supported by research that has documented that gender role confusion can place a significant stress on the didactic subsystem. What the fuck is that?
I have no idea what a dyadic subsystem is. Yes, look, I have no idea what that is. It says, wait, we read the next one. As the woman.
Child caring. Child care, like child care. It's caregiver-child relationship.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like
the belief system, the cultural system, all that type of stuff. Producing commercial quantity of the enzyme.
That's something else. Yeah. Anyway, so boom. So all right. How y'all feeling out there? Everybody good? Let me take a break, man. How y'all feeling out there, man? It's a good conversation, huh? It's fucking fantastic, man. Dudes got to wise up. That's not how you end up the food guy,
Dark
man.
Matter
Great
says,
stream.
Great stream.
Thank you, brother.
Jabo K says he's chilling like a villain.
See, man, let me just see who's here real quick. Okay, cool. The numbers is up. That's what's up. All right, cool.
I'm fine. Thank you for asking.
I didn't ask you, man. Shut up, man.
Ones are safe.
Shut the fuck up, man.
Well, that's
All right.
Siri popping her head in when it don't
Yeah.
belong.
All right, let's continue, man.
Ooh,
Oh,
one
wait.
there said children born outside of marriage. That's
Yeah.
what we get into.
Yeah, man.
Man, we might be here all night on this. We gonna be here till the early morning.
Yeah.
The sun gonna be coming up. We still gonna be going at it.
So yeah, we'll just do a part 2. All right. Wow. Let me just move it in. Let's just keep it moving. Basically, the gender role is huge, man. Like, it's just to move past it is kind of hard, man. Many of these educated African Americans do not have a sense of urgency to marry men that they are in committed relationship because they're economically self-sufficient. Okay. All right, we got that.
think we read that
So, feel emasculated. Oh, controlling. Yeah. That is, the couple is not able to successfully manage their differences. Okay. If their emotional needs are not getting met, and the man may understandably feel emasculated, as he has little to no influence in decision making. The power struggle emerges from rigid definitions of gender in terms of how a particular task gets defined as masculine or feminine. Right? Moreover, the interpersonal manifestation of gender role confusion is isomorphic to the societal challenges of sex and racism. Whatever that means.
I don't know what the fuck that was said, man.
Yeah.
I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I don't know what he just said.
Another manifestation of the problem of the unbalanced ratio of men to women is that the greater educational attainment gap between the man and the woman are greater. Yes, because like I said, like, you know, I was in one class, I was the only male in the class. Yeah, it was education, but you know what I mean? I was the only male in that class. So on the labor market, they're going to be talking about, okay. Okay. For instance, a male construction... what?
Hey, no. Yeah, no, you get into the part I was about to...
It's over here?
No, you
Over
get
here.
into it. Yeah,
Over here?
you
Okay.
You was getting about to get right to it.
All right. In fact, Ferdinia found that significant educational differences, not economic difference, had a direct negative impact on the women's relationship satisfaction. That's what you were saying.
That's what I talked about earlier.
Yep. Given that relationships do not exist in a vacuum, the man who has a blue-collar job may not feel comfortable around his partner's professional friends and vice versa. I just said this. For instance, a male construction contractor who does not have his high school diploma and is with a female who's college-educated teacher may have several arguments that revolved around cultural differences. That is, he may feel emasculated and uncomfortable around her college-educated friends. There goes the word bougie. Damn. So you get it? Wow. In some, yeah, there we go. That's exactly what you were saying.
It has nothing even, like, economics is part of it, but it's not just economics, because
Social.
that blue collar dude could be making just as much money, but it's the other aspect.
Man, there is nothing wrong with a blue collar job, man.
Of course not, but it don't, you know what I mean? But if you out here and like, oh, I got my master's in, because, you know, women will have their master's in something like communications or
Something
something.
stupid, yeah.
Or sociology or something. And so you technically are making the same amount of money as a dude who's an electrician, but you hold yourself up like you're somehow higher, even though you make the same amount of money, you know? Not that money is everything, because obviously there's other factors onto that.
But it's a whole lot. All right, children born outside of marriage.
Yeah, this is a good one right here. I already know it's good. He ain't even ready yet.
Recent research efforts have focused on understanding the discrepancy between 80% of low-income unwed parents who state a strong desire to get married and the reality that only 15 of these of the unwed mothers actually marry their child's father. So 80% say, yeah, I want to get married. They say 80%, yeah, I want to get married. But only 15% of y'all is with your baby daddy. You know what I'm saying?
Or get married to the baby daddy.
Yeah, married to the baby. Thank you. Yeah, very good. Yeah, that's right. So the Gibbon, Davis, and colleagues examined this discrepancy and found 3 barriers. First of all, you know what? Another thing. Go ahead.
It's like, why is there an ease with having a kid with somebody and like getting married? Because a kid is permanent. You can't undo a kid. But technically, you could undo a marriage. You know what I'm saying? Because if you get married first,
That's a good point, right?
you could technically get divorced before you have a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But once you have a kid, that's it.
Because
that person's always in your life. You know? And so it seems like,
honestly, just because it's easier, it's just easier to have a kid. It's just.
but it's easy to get married. You don't even need money to get married.
Yeah,
You just
true.
go down to the courthouse and just sign them papers, and you technically legally married. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to have no big old fancy wedding.
You know what I thought about when I was reading this with all these like scientists? Yo, man, a lot of these white scientists, they know all about our shit. You know what I'm saying? They know all about our condition and all that kind of shit.
Know thy enemy.
Yeah, you know what I mean? They know, man. They know all of this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Anyway, so they examined this discrepancy and found that 3 barriers that keep low-income couples from getting married: financial concerns, relationship quality, and the fear of divorce. The researchers concluded that women not only want a guarantee that their child's father is the one they should marry, but the couple see child rearing and marriage as separate decisions. My nigga Craig is on some psychic shit right here. Although wanting a strong relationship prior to making the decision to marry the child's father is an understandable goal, that desire is constrained by the significant stress that parenthood places on the relationship. Yes. The stress of transitioning to parenthood on married couples' relationship has been well documented. First of all, being married, having a strong relationship, and being married, right? Mm-hmm. Then having children puts a strain on that. It makes that's what they're saying. Like, it puts a strain on that. So if you don't have a strong relationship and you're not married, then that pressure of parenthood will almost absolutely break you apart. Mm-hmm. Thus, consistent with Ken and Bradbury's model, the transition to parenthood is considered a stressful event that negatively impacts relationship satisfaction. In fact, relationship satisfaction goes down during pregnancy, right? During the transition to parenthood for all couples.
That means even if you was
Even
high,
happily married couples.
you gonna drop some. So if you was at 90%,
That's right.
you gonna drop down to 85%.
That's right.
Maybe 90
That's right.
or 80%. And so basically, I see what it's saying. Like, so if you already weren't married and then you have a kid, the kid adds stress, strain, and troubles to the relationship. Now that you have those troubles, now you look at it as an excuse not to get married.
Yes.
We're having all these relationship problems. We're not going to get married.
Yeah. The problem is parenting and you not putting a good system together. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You basically, you shouldn't have had that baby, man. Honestly. They'll never say that. They'll say, well, it's a blessing from God and I love my kids and I'll never do nothing different and it's a blessing. Yeah, whatever. You know, damn right that if you could, you would do it over again. Let's be honest, man.
Yeah.
Wow. One reason parenthood is so stressful is that children are demanding. Yep. No shit. Uh-huh. Parenthood constrains the couple's ability to come and go as they please.
Can't be selfish anymore like you can be in this era.
It highlights issues of fairness and requires that everything be planned and coordinated, which young people don't like to do.
Especially in this era.
Whew. Yes. It's just going by the whim.
Yeah, I mean, we in the era of you can't even invite nobody to nothing because they want to ask you who all gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the era we're in.
Parenthood constrains a couple's ability to come and go as they please. It highlights issues of fairness and being burdened on a couple to work well together. Consistent with the notion that the central task of any long-term romantic relationship is the management of differences. Wow. See, first of all, we never understood that's a bar. Like, how many of us knew that, right? Consistent with the notion that the central task Okay? The central task is a job you have to do. Okay? This is a bar right here, guys. Consistent with the notion. So okay. The central task of any long-term romantic relationship is a management of differences. That's what it's all about.
That's what we got to start telling people relationships are more so about from the jump.
Yeah.
So we be highlighting all this love.
Yep.
We be highlighting all the heart bubbles and unicorns and Valentine's Day. And hot dates and hot steamy sex. You know what I mean?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what we highlight, and we need to talk about the consistent management of relationships by managing different
issues,
you know
managing differences.
You grew up like this, you grew up like that, so you know what I mean. How you see things is totally different.
That's right, brother.
Even the viewing on child rearing, but this is even before child rearing. We're just talking about the relationship even before the child is brought into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so. Dark matter. I think so.
I think also sometimes possibly when we're in that honeymoon phase, we're not having these conversations. I don't think.
No, not
and
at all.
And I feel like that's a problem too.
Not at
so
all.
So you're just like getting into relationships and you're like, I just like the vibe. We have a good vibe. And you use these like vague terms. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we just like the same movie. You know what I mean? We like watching Seinfeld and listening to Yo Gotti.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so your relationship is based on that, but you don't even know if you have the same ideals politically. You don't know if you have the same ideals on child rearing. You don't know if you have the same goals beyond that, but beyond just this vague notion of, oh, I like her vibe. I like his vibe.
All right. However, couples may have to manage differences related to parenting styles, parenting roles, and discipline. You know? Now, so when you have a child, now you're talking about some serious differences you got to put together. Moreover, parenting is tiring, and it will result in decreased sexual intimacy.
Yes.
Simple as that.
Yes.
Documenting the importance of high relationship satisfaction as a reason to marry for low-income unwed parents is reasonable to assume that having children outside of marriage does not increase the probability of a couple deciding to marry. So at the end of the day,
because the couple,
it's simple.
Yes, because the kid brought out the problems in the relationship.
Yes.
It's now those problems in a relationship. It's like...
Yes. You know what? I'm just going to go and say the opposite. Having a child will probably increase the probability of not marrying.
Yep. That's exactly what it's saying, because the reverse is true.
Wow, man. Let's see, man. Let me check the time, man. Great conversation. Thank you, brother. This is fucking fascinating, man.
We just skip that one.
Yeah. I'm saying we had 2. I'm just gonna pull 1, and then we'll do a part 2, man. So I bought this article so I can get back to it. I was about to rent it. Like I could rent it, but I was like, for like $5 more, I can just stream it whenever I want to. Yeah. Anyway, so the next one was trust, fairness, and forgiveness. I mean, obviously, all these are very important, but
yes.
So there it is, Tuskegee syphilis study that they're talking about. I'll just skim through. Look, here it is for us. You know, the reason why we're anti-vax, right? African Americans at a higher level of societal distrust. You know what I mean? Okay. Review. Okay. It's all right. Oh, money. Let me see. Serious impact of this. Okay. All right. Let's see. Sense of justice, challenges. Okay. All right. The paradox of employment and relationship success.
Okay, the paradox of employment, which means that it's not quite what you think it is. You know what I'm saying? You think high employment means high relationships, but that might not necessarily be the case.
Oh, so that's about it, right? And then next here is like basically implications for, because they're doing this on how to educate and do policy. So we're basically at the end of it, right? Implications, and so so here's summary. You know what I'm saying? Basically.
Oh, we went through the whole joint.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So there's the summary.
Yeah, so we might as well go through that last one.
Yeah, let's do that last one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, we're going to go to this last little part of the article, or study, actually. This is
a study. It's a study. Yeah, it's a study. That's right, brother. All right. The paradox of employment and relationship success. An important yet understudied factor that contributes to the disproportionately low marriage rate is the focus on career.
Thanks, Stacy. XO Stacy said this is the most informative stream that she's been on since joining Caffeine.
Appreciate that. Okay, I don't think you heard that. An important yet understudied factor that contributes to the disproportionately low marriage rate is the focus on career. Mm-hmm. Across the educational spectrum, there is an important and growing subset of African Americans who believe that you must secure your career prior to marriage. You see, that's what Kevin Samuels be talking about. You know what I'm saying? And then a lot of niggas be like, "No, I gotta get the bag first. Nah, but married woman will help you get the bag. It'll help you get the career, a good marriage at least. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Woo.
All right, peace, Stacey. Where is it 5:30 a.m. at?
I think she's in England.
Okay.
That's the impression I got. I got the impression she was in England.
Wow. Okay. All right.
England is like 7 hours ahead, I think. Yeah, she said she's from England.
Okay. The limited research that has studied this subgroup of African Americans has supported that belief. In fact, one study found that the origins of this belief began in early adolescence. Wow.
That means they're learning it from the elders.
It's a childhood sort of.
But you learn it from your elders because you learn it from somebody, right? They ain't just coming out. An adolescent ain't thinking about this on their own.
Islam. McCabe and Barnett conducted a study with 72 sixth graders, examining their feelings about future careers and romantic relationships. Their study found that these adolescents were more hopeful about and focused on career planning than relationship planning.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Because these sixth graders.
Yes.
Sixth graders.
Yes.
Man.
The general conclusion from the literature on this topic is that African American men and women are putting more of an emphasis on career establishment than on marital relationships. With the increased focus on career comes an interesting paradox. You gotta choose. Like, what the fuck? That's simple. Like, you gotta choose. You can't serve two masters. You know what I'm saying? You can't, you know what I'm saying? Anyway. All right.
It's not that you have to choose completely. It's that you got to start thinking about it earlier.
Yeah.
Because I think the problem is people are thinking, I got to get the career first and then the relationship, whereas like they need to be more simultaneous.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Where am I at? Where am I at? Oh, yeah. Yeah, many of the attributes required to be successful in one's career, basically,
such as independence, hiding
vulnerabilities, are the very attributes that are harming relationships, that are like bad for relationships. Wow!
Woo! So basically, you focus on your career, and your career teaches you the very things that makes you not good in a relationship.
Wow! Oh my God!
So now I get what they mean by the paradox. The paradox of the career.
Wow. So, okay, look. Many of the attributes, like such as what? Independence, right? Yeah. You're in my career, I'm independent, so I can leave, I can come back, and but like, nah, marriage is dependent on somebody else, right? Hiding vulnerabilities. Yeah, no. You when you go out in corporate America, I don't have no issue. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You lied on your resume to get the job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know how to do an Excel spreadsheet. You know what I'm saying?
Healthy relationships necessitate one embracing the interdependent mindset and having the capacity to be vulnerable with a romantic partner. For instance, dating while being older and more set in a career usually results in less experience and tolerance for merging one's life with someone else's.
I feel like that proves what I've said this before on this show, and I'll say it again because it fits this topic perfectly. Which is, I feel like an individual, we're like wet pieces of clay when we're younger, right? You remember me saying this? And then when we're like wet pieces of clay, but as you start to get older, your clay starts to harden. You know what I'm saying? And so when you're younger, if my clay is wet and your clay is wet, it's easier to come together and make one sculpture out of that clay. You know what I'm saying? But if you keep waiting till you get older, your clay gets harder. You know what I'm saying? It's not that my clay is hard, your clay is hard. It's very hard to merge those two beings together. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I've been saying I feel like that was a problem with modern relationships is you keep waiting too long, and now that you've waited so long, now you can't get along with nobody. You know what I'm saying? Now you start having yeah, we could be in a relationship, but we could be in two separate rooms, or we could be in two separate houses, or because you kind of become stuck in your ways. You're used to living on your own, coming and going as you please. Whatever your own personal hygiene habits are, you don't got to modify them for nobody because nobody's there with you. You know what I'm saying? And so now when you got another person, that becomes a burden. Like, damn, man, I love watching this show in my drawers on a Wednesday morning, but now this person's here. They want to watch a different show, and I'm mad about this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep. Wow, that's what it said. It said, yep.
It's crazy. I just said that just based on just like how I just felt like, you know what I'm saying? Just my observations, but it's just kind of interesting to see this article kind of back up something I just thought. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I love when that happens.
Yeah.
Man, dude, wow. There's more of a comfort with independence than interdependence. In fact, in one study, a group of African-American women over the age of 35 who desired to get married reported feeling that marriage meant a loss of power and control they did not want to give up.
Yep. And that goes what I was talking to earlier, because when you're 35 and you're fairly educated, that means you're making a fairly amount of money. You could be able to go on them little girls' trips. Oh, yeah, me and the girls, we going to Cabo San Lucas, whatever, for the weekend. But now that you're married, you might not be able to do that to the same level. Not saying that you can't do it, but you now have to like ask somebody now, can you do it? You know what I'm saying?
Although understandable, this dynamic also potentially sets up a dynamic of tug of war over power in the relationship. When relationships require one to embrace so basically this power dynamic it's showing its face many different ways. It's many different ways, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And a lot of it sure, some of it is self-imposed as men, but a lot of it is on the women, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. These women 35, you know what I'm saying? The educated women, it's like, you know, we need to create sort of like programs for women, and like, you know what I mean, like we need training, like women need training, you know what I'm saying, like to like, you know what I'm saying, like what am I saying, like I'm not saying like a policy from government, I'm more so like churches and stuff, and like we need to start being conscious, seminars, and say, yeah, we need to start being conscious of this. Hey, ladies, you know what I'm saying? This is the problem that's affecting us. Ain't nobody gonna come save us, okay? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to have this conversation in church and stuff, like etiquette and stuff. Yeah, that's basically what I'm talking about, man. Mm-hmm. Any which way, man, I'm gonna end there, man. But
anybody want to call in real quick?
Yeah, anybody want to call in, say anything on the last one? You know what I'm saying? Anybody want to say, yeah, yep.
This is the time to call in. If you want to add your little 2 cents or something you learned, you don't even got to be adding something, but if you just something you learned from reading this little art paper on the marriage rates of African Americans and the reasons behind the lack of marriage rates. So just to recap it, it's gone through various things. It's gone
gender
through
leadership and power. There it is, right?
It's going through things from the economics of men, going things to the inversion of gender roles. It's gone into having kids out of marriage, and then the eligible men not wanting to pick from the women who got kids all over the place with people because they had all these kids young. So this was a very enlightening article. I think it maybe added a few things that maybe people didn't think about, but I think it also has possibly confirmed things that you kind of knew in the back of your head, but you really didn't have necessary proof. You know what I mean?
So what I want to do is I just want to read this like quickly as in summary, okay?
Okay.
All right. So gender leadership and power in the light. So that's what he's highlighting, man. Gender leadership and power in light of the prevalent gender disparities among African Americans, couples can benefit from discussions about gender roles in terms of the division of household labor, parenting, money, and sex. Similarly, given the disproportionate number of African American couples in which the woman is more educated and makes more money than the man, it is important, it's necessary to discuss the role of leadership and conjoint decision making, helping all couples learn to accept the interdependence. That's good. This article has used constraint theory to understand the marriage rate. More specifically, the article has highlighted, the article reviewed literature on cohabitation, mate availability, children born outside of marriage, right? The challenges of co-parenting, trust and forgiveness. We didn't even really get into that one.
Yeah,
but trust, trust. That's a huge one. How can you have a relationship without trust?
Right.
Damn, like there's no trust. Like, God damn, that's the heart of a relationship. The article presented some findings that apply to all African Americans and others that are only relevant to certain subgroups. This nuanced analysis demonstrates the heterogeneity within the African American population. On this topic, it must incorporate both a sociological and psychological lens.
Right.
All right, cool.
Man, I definitely say that one thing that I've learned from the article is that cohabitation aspect of the article.
That's
about,
right. That's right.
Cohabitation does not increase the marriage rates.
And having children too.
just increases the children out of wedlock.
Yes.
I think because I think most people would feel like, oh, we got to cohabitate because I got to test drive the car. Yeah. You know what I mean? I got to test drive it before I buy it. You know what I mean? So me living with her is a test drive.
Yeah.
And I think in general, most people probably had a thought kind of cut from that cloth. You know, maybe not exactly crucial. That. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I feel like the article did a good job, at least for me, of showing that the study did a good job of kind of showing the weakness of that. You know what I mean? Like showing how that is not the case. The statistics are proving that does not happen. You're what is it, like only 15% of these cohabitating couples end up getting married or something. I forget exactly what it was, but I don't know. I just want to highlight something I definitely learned from the study myself. You know what I mean? Something I could take with me to the future. But the cold part is, like, if you say that to somebody, because it flies in the face, I think, of common sense on the surface, they gonna think you're wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and remember, whatever we talked about today is scientific. We're not talking about just somebody's just blanket opinion, okay? All right, you guys, thank you guys for, whoa, god dang, 2,000, sheesh. Wow, man. That's a lot. All right, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. You guys be good, be safe.
All right, we see you all next time.